Here's your First Warn Weather Forecast First, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
It was another hot day across the state line today. Temperatures made their way into the 90s for some of us, hitting a high temperature of 92 in Rockford, 2 degrees shy of our record high for today's date, 93 in Janesville, 91 in Rochelle, 90 in DeKalb for some of those afternoon highs. Now that did allow for a few thunderstorms to develop, but as they got closer to the northern Illinois region, they fizzled out because there was a lot of dry air for some of those storms to work with. We still have another wave of storms, mainly as we head toward the early hours of tomorrow morning, that will return back into the region. Those start by the time we get closer to 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and we could see some storms mixed in with some rain showers through the early part of the day tomorrow. More widespread coverage of rain showers, meanwhile, will be expected through the early to middle parts of tomorrow midday. I'll continue to time out how long that may stick around and how much rain we might be able to see from that coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
Hundreds of veterans gather in Beloit for a celebration, the inaugural Veterans Reunion. Plus, Boone County Sheriff's Department welcomes in a new training facility. We take a look at the many ways this will grow the department. And the 4th annual Northwest Illinois Air Show took flight today, the event that brought families up close and to the action of planes in the sky.
Live from FOX39, this is Eyewitness News at 9.
Hello and welcome, I'm Jess Liptzin. Thanks for being here this evening. Bringing veterans together for food, fun, and support, Rock County hosted its inaugural Veterans Reunion today, bringing hundreds of veterans out to the Beloit's VFW Post. Blake Dietz went to the reunion to learn more about why this event is so special.
VFW Post 2306 in Beloit was rocking Saturday afternoon. Hundreds of veterans, family, and friends rolled in to enjoy music, food, drinks, and camaraderie at Rock County's first all-veterans reunion. Marine Corps veteran Tom West says the idea came to be over a couple beers in the Beloit VFW basement as a way to connect fellow vets.
All veterans, we all need somebody to talk to. And I see it happening already. People here talking and they're getting to know each other. Guys that were in a conflict or whatever, not even knowing the guy they're talking to now was even there. And it's bringing people together, and that's what we want to do.
In addition to the music and refreshments, veteran services like Vet Center and Marine Corps League were on site to provide counseling, guidance, and support. Rock County Veteran Service Officer Paul Crawford says combining services with a fun environment is the best of both worlds.
The beauty of it is we do have some outreach tables where people can still get their questions answered, but the beauty of it is that they can just unwind. For maybe sometime for the first time in a long time. When you're in the military, you're taught to kind of hold everything tight. And this is it's a way where they can get things out. It's a way where they can share their experiences. It's a way where they can enjoy their time, and it's a way that they can celebrate their time in the military.
Crawford says events and spaces like these should be widespread.
I highly recommend it to any other county, so we labeled this as the first Rock County All Veterans Reunion, and we hope to do this for years to come.
And West couldn't be happier.
I'm holding my tears back now because this is great. It just is. It just gets you here, you know.
Reporting in Beloit for your home team, I'm Blake Dietz.
The Boone County Sheriff's Office welcomed in its brand new training center. It will be called the Dwayne E. Worth Training Center. It honors Worth's 36 years of commitment to the community. The center consists of a classroom, fitness center, control tactics room, conference room, and accidental reconstruction office. The sheriff says this will help in many ways.
In today's world, in our profession, recruitment and retention of deputies, officers is so important. And we feel that this facility will assist us in recruiting, find individuals to join the Boone County Sheriff's Department, and it will also help us continue to retain those officers once we get them hired and trained.
That training center is located on McKinley Avenue in Belvedere. Learning life-saving information can be fun and interactive. This morning, families flocked to UW Health for Kids Safety Fair. Little ones got tips from Rockford Fire Department and Winnebago County Sheriff's Department through interactive displays. Kids also could participate in activities like rock climbing and going on an inflatable slide. This is the first time UW Health has put on the fair since 2019. Organizers say one concerning statistic led them to bringing it back.
Just there's a need for it. We all things safety and kids related, we've seen an increase in SIDS deaths, and we wanted to have a venue just to bring everything safety to parents to make it easier for them.
Sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS, is the leading cause of death in infants between 1 month and 1 year old. Tricks and flips in the sky, it was a sight to see at the Northwest Illinois Air Show. In Freeport, families came out for a show in the air. Planes of all sizes and shapes filled the sky. It's the 4th year for the air show, with big jets and tiny planes. Organizers say this event is unique, allowing the audience up close to the action.
In front of it. A lot of them go up to Oshkosh for the big convention, and that one you don't get to see the aircraft as much because you're not that close. Here you're right up there, they can almost touch them. It's like it's fun for everybody. The kids love it, the adults love it, it's a great show.
Pilots came from around the country, as well as including a few from right here in the state line. There was a party at the Coronado today as they celebrated Hispanic culture. Swift and LaOnda organized the event. It was free to everyone interested in learning about the history and culture. September 15th kicked off Hispanic Heritage Month. There were dances, art displays, and so much more highlighting the culture.
So many different countries all make up Latin America and Spain, and we are here just at the Coronado, a historic moment to allow the community in for free to see this historic piece of Rockford history and their own cultural celebration.
Hispanic Heritage Month goes on until October 15th, with many different events going on in Rockford highlighting the culture. Some can't wait to the day of retirement, and that starts the next chapter of their life. However, reports are showing a rise in the opposite decision. After the break, we take a look at why many are saying no to retirement.
Our temperatures made their way into the low 90s for some of us today, but that will be a thing of the past as we head into astronomical fall tomorrow. It will feel a lot more like fall, with rain chances as well. Time out those rain chances and let you know just how much of a cool down we see coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Jess Liptzin, Drew Collins, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
This year is often called a silver tsunami in the employment universe. That's because baby boomer seniors are creating waves of people going into retirement. But many other seniors say no. Fox News' Oliviana Calmes talks to seniors who defer on their retirement plans, and we hear from one expert who explains the advantages of continuing to work.
Lots of adults are happy having a job if they like what they do and they're healthy. Others are switching gears to find a job that fits their lifestyle more. AARP says delaying retirement can be rewarding in the long run.
There's no reason to, really, if you're able to.
Carla Thorpe is in her mid-60s, part of a surge of adults entering retirement age this year. Over 4 million Americans will turn 65 each year through 2027. But that doesn't mean retirement is soon for many.
I can't even imagine my husband retiring, honestly. He still works 7 days a week.
She left her job at a college to work with him for less hours and is starting to plan for the future while they save.
You know, people talk about retiring and that you're going to travel and all that, but there's a lot of people that don't have the money to do that, or they're scared to do that, just because they may outlive their savings,
A spokesperson from AARP says that's why planning is so important and delaying retirement can help.
This gives you an opportunity to save more and to get your finances in order. Any amount of savings is better than no amount of saving.
Other older adults are taking a leap into retirement.
I feel good mentally about it, but I don't feel financially ready. We're going to take payments from my 401k to help make up for the difference in my monthly pay. I won't get to make up my bonuses, but that's okay.
AARP recommends evaluating spending and maximizing Social Security by working for at least 35 years and collecting spousal benefits.
Rather than having this deep worry, you actually have data, and now you can try to figure out how to use your resources to the best advantage.
John said if you can put off retiring until you're 70, you're getting an extra 24% or more when you add in Social Security's adjusted amount for inflation each year. In St. Louis, Missouri, Oliviana Calmes, Fox News.
Astronomical fall begins tomorrow, yet we still reach the 90s today. Up next, Jordan tells us how we could see some cooler temps and possible rain on the way. His full forecast after the break.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
It was another really warm day in the state line. High temperatures reached into the low 90s. In Rockford, we hit 92 degrees, just 2 degrees shy of our record high for today's date. And many other spots also in the 90s. 90 in DeKalb, 91 in Rochelle, 93 in Janesville, 89 in Monroe, and 87 in Galena, one of the cooler spots across the state line. But it was still a little bit of a warm day, and the humidity started to rise once we got later into the afternoon as a warm front lifted through the area. That did produce a few showers and thunderstorms, mainly across southern Wisconsin, that once they drifted into northern Illinois, they came across a little bit drier air, and they fizzled out pretty quickly once they got into much of northern Illinois. Now, we still have a couple of chances for some of those spotty showers and storms for a few more hours into the early overnight. We do have a dry period, but once we head closer toward daybreak tomorrow morning, those shower and storm chances are on the rise once again. Temperatures, meanwhile, hold pretty steady overnight. We don't drop very far, is because we have that thick cloud cover in place and a bit more moisture to work with as well. As a result, we also see these afternoon highs tomorrow, not very warm. We only get to 70 this time, a 22-degree drop from our high temperature today. As we get into the start of astronomical fall tomorrow, it will definitely feel much more like it, with widespread rain showers possible, followed by some clearing late into the evening, and those winds shifting back to come out of the north-northwest. As a look at Futurecast, this is how things may play out into tomorrow. A few spotty showers and storms, but generally speaking, still relatively dry conditions here in the short term. But once we head toward 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, that's when that shower and storm coverage will be on the rise. Now, most of this will be in the form of some scattered showers, but we may see a few embedded thunderstorms within there as well. I don't think we're going to see many of those, but at least in some of these stronger cores, we may see the potential for a few brief bolts of lightning. Widespread rain then eventually shifts out of the region once we head into the evening, with much drier air to the north starting to clear us out by the late evening. That may allow our temperatures to drop pretty quickly, and if we stay lighter with our wind speeds tomorrow night, we may see the potential for some patchy fog into the night. Our next rain chance looks to be at least a further to the south once we head into Monday, but going into Tuesday, that may wrap around a few showers going into the afternoon, so we may need to keep a little bit of a closer eye on that. As far as our total rainfall goes here in the short term, I think many spots end up seeing anywhere between roughly a half of an inch to maybe an inch at the most, outside of those spots where we see some of those thunderstorms. We could see some of those lower totals, especially further off to the north and to the west, but generally speaking, this will be somewhat beneficial rainfall for most of us across the state line, given the lack of rain that we've had over these last 3 or 4 weeks. Going into the next couple of days following that, it remains pretty cool. High temperatures in the low 70s. Isolated chance there on Monday. Another slightly higher chance for some showers there on Tuesday, but dry most of next week, although temperatures will be rising back above average, but remaining in the 70s all the way through.
Thanks, Jordan. Drew's in next with sports. 2 weeks after the emotional high of a win at Notre Dame, NIU's football team is feeling a much different emotion tonight. And we have some Saturday Nick 10 action coming your way from Freeport.
Now sports with Drew Collins.
2 weeks ago today, NIU stunned Notre Dame for the greatest win in school history. Now most of that air has gone out of the balloon for the Huskies because they followed that up by losing their MAC opener today against Buffalo. The fans turned out, more than 18,000 of them. The Huskies seemed ready to play. First quarter, Ethan Hampton, he fires at Cam Thompson for a first down. A few plays later, Ontario Brown turns the corner and goes 5 yards for a Huskies touchdown. Now head to the second quarter. Brown is going to get the ball again and again, gets outside, and he scores from 14 yards out. It's looking good up to this point. NIU's defense allowed only a field goal in the first half, and the Huskies led at the break 14-3. But the Bulls hit on 2 huge plays in the second half. First, this 46-yard touchdown catch by Victor Snow between 2 NIU defenders in the end zone. Then in the fourth quarter, Buffalo running back Al-Jay Henderson busted right up the middle for a 36-yard touchdown. This game went to overtime, tied at 20. In overtime, NIU had the ball first and was forced to try for a field goal, but was blocked from 42 yards out. So all Buffalo needed was a field goal to win it. Upton Belenfant gave it to them from 37 yards out. The Huskies dropped their MAC opener 23-20. A huge top 25 matchup, the Fighting Illini and Nebraska. Luke Altmaier finds Pat Bryant in the end zone to start it off. We jump to the fourth where Nebraska leads, but play action trickery gets the big boy touchdown to tie it and send it to overtime. Illinois gets ball first and the play action works perfect again. That's Pat Bryant wide open for another tutty. 4th and long for the win. The defense gets the sack and the win. What a game, a massive win for the Fighting Illini. 31-24 is the final in Nebraska.
I can't say enough about these guys, the attitude they work with, the perseverance, the humility, the gratitude. All they've done is made this next week even bigger.
Saturday, Nick 10 action, baby photos for homecoming to get us kicked off. Auburn versus Freeport. Auburn starts with the ball, and Jacavion Hayes comes flying off the edge for the sack and the flex. I see you double two. Pretzel's ball, Peyton Woker gives it to Bam Bam Cam Verner, who of course trucks his way for 6. Now this is nothing new for Cam. He's been doing it all year long, but let's just roll the tape and see him do it one more time. That's him somewhere in the pile of Knights. Pretzels lead big early. Pretzels with the ball again. The end-around give to Deion Woodle. Watch this cut back, snagging ankles and points. Freeport would convert on the conversion and dominate the Knights. Freeport wins 28-8. And the Cubs lost another game today, this time to the Nationals. 5-1 is the final score. This now sinks the Cubs 7 games behind the wild card playoff spot. The final game of this series will be tomorrow afternoon. That's sports. We'll be right back.
First Warn Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Glass & More shows the higher coverage of the thunderstorm activity across portions of southern Wisconsin. Now, once they got closer to Illinois, there was a lot of drier air to work through. That's why we didn't see nearly as much of that coverage during the afternoon. But we still have another chance for a few of those scattered thunderstorms during the overnight hours tonight, gradually increasing in that coverage for some showers and thunderstorm activity once we head closer to 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then we hold on to those widespread showers through much of the afternoon before we get to a drier evening. Temperatures cooler the rest of the week, down in the 70s.
That's our show. Have a great night.